Where did you?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Felicia Alexander Marshall. Welcome. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome as well. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the bottom and make sure you're clicking the bell so when I am uploading on YouTube, you are notified. Makeup 102. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do, once again, another makeup friendly makeup look. I'm going to call this Makeup 102. This is beginner friendly makeup. For those that are just getting started with makeup. I already did one for drugstore makeup, your beginner friendly makeup. I'll put that video in the cards above. Definite good makeup to start off with, particularly when you're starting off at YouTube and you cannot afford the high-end stuff. Well, now let's say you've graduated and now you want to try some of that high-end stuff. So that's why I'm calling this Makeup 102. This is beginner friendly makeup using some beginner friendly high-end makeup. Now, one brand I do have today, not really considered high-end. It's not considered high-end, but I didn't have a high-end. Well, I do, but I really wouldn't consider what that item that I have beginner friendly. So I'm just going to improvise with just this one item that is not high-end and improvise with it. But if you want to graduate into that, I would like for you to graduate with this brand, but we'll get into it in a minute. As always, I have my handy dandy mirror with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Makeup 102, beginner friendly makeup using some beginner friendly high-end makeup. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to first start off by priming. Now, this is a place I would really say you really need to go to when you just want to get your feet wet and graduate into the high-end makeup. This primer, I'm not really a big fan of it, but I can't really say that it's not beginner friendly. I mean, if you want to start somewhere, you're going to start here. So this is particularly with the primer, my foundation and concealer. Start here. I said that before previously, so I'm going to say it again. So for priming, this is a small trial size. I'm just going to use the rest of it. I got this, I believe, in my Ipsy a long while back. I'm just going to use the rest of it. And this is a great place to start if you want to really get into the high-end side. So for priming, we're going to start with MAC. So this is a small trial size I got in my Ipsy. This is the Prep and Prime primer, face primer. So I'm going to start with the MAC today. And really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the rest of it because I think it's just a little bit left. And afterwards, I'm just going to throw it away. MAC is a great place to go to when you're just starting out with that high-end makeup. So I would say start with MAC. If you really want to go really old school, if you want to check out Lancome, you can. Check out Clinique, you can. For me, MAC was a good place to start, which was MAC. So start with MAC. And if you really want to know your shade or try to get shade match, one of the makeup people at MAC, they will shade match you. And I always go refer back to my initial shade from MAC, which is NC50. So anything similar to NC50, that's what I shade match myself to, NC50. So we're going to start with MAC today. We're going to use their Prep and Prime primer. Again, I got that size I got it out of my Ipsy. So I'll just using the rest of it. So it's a really good place to go. Also, if you really want to really look at some high-end makeup, but you really don't want to pay the high-end prices, Ipsy is good. I don't have a BoxyCharm. I'm thinking about doing BoxyCharm. I don't know yet. I did do Sephora Play, but they had discontinued the Sephora Play, and they're doing something else. And I think a lot of that has to do with the pandemic that we're currently in. So yeah, start off with MAC. You're gonna always be glad. Always when you're starting out, start off with MAC. Start off with MAC. So we're gonna continue on for foundation. I kind of gave it away. So for foundation today, I am going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix foundation. Of course, yes, the shade I am in is NC50. So I'm going to start with MAC. I believe this foundation is $36, I believe. I believe this is $36. This is the foundation I use for Miranda's graduation. I don't know why I kind of reserved this one as like special occasion, but I kind of do. Now this foundation does not have, this is the one that don't have a pump, so I just pour it out on my arm. So NC means neutral cool. So this is a neutral cool undertone. Actually, I'm gonna need another one because this one's almost, it's so much makeup I have back there, guys. I'm almost out of, I knew it's something I forgot. I forgot wipes. There we go. We're gonna pour this out. So again, this is a good starting point. When you're just starting out, you really want to start going into some of that high-end makeup. MAC is a really good place to start. I always start there. So I just put it on my arm. This is where I put it. I put it here. And then what I do is I just place it in these areas. We're going to place it in these areas. There we go. Place it in my little areas here. Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and just use the rest of it. Why not? Why not? Might as well use it up. Alright, so I have pretty much used up this foundation. And it's not going to go to waste. So I might as well just use it up. Alright. So I'm going to take my stippling foundation brush. This brush comes from Juvia's place, by the way. So I'm just going to blend that into my skin. And I was, again, shade matched to NC50. And I've been using NC50 ever since. And initially, I thought this was not a great shade match until I realized, and you have to also understand where to shade match yourself to. So another good hint is you don't want to shade match yourself to your face. You want to shade, your best place is to shade match yourself to your chest because you want to have a uniform shade color because you don't want this being darker than what your chest is because then you're going to really look uneven. And so you have to play with it, but I would always say when you're really getting into the makeup, drugstore makeup is always going to be your best place to start before you get into that high-end makeup. There we go. So any main one I always refer back to with shade matching, I'm always going to refer back to MAC. There we go. And if you're new to my channel, I'm not into super full coverage. For me, this gives me like some medium. This gives like medium coverage. Still kind of looks skin-like, and that's what I like. Which is why I really want to wear this foundation for Miranda's graduation, because it's, to me, this one is very skin-like. And y'all know I love my Too Faced Born This Way, but MAC was really calling me. Okay, so we're going to go on with concealer. So with concealer, I'm going to stick with MAC. This is the MAC Studio Fix 24-Hour Wear Concealer. The shade I am in with this concealer is NC45. So what you do with your concealer is, or what I do with it, I like to brighten a little bit more, as well as, you know, try to give some dimension, as well as trying to fill in wherever areas I have a little discoloration in. And that's good for that as well as brightening. Now, in the beginning of my videos, I used to go kind of ham with the concealer, but mainly I just do one swipe under each eye, and that goes a long way. I don't do all that heavy concealing. Now, if the foundation shade is darker, then you'll see me do multiple swipes under the eye, just so I can blend it out and make it a little even. I'm mighty messaging me. It'll be all right. So what I do is just take it and I just do one swipe. One swipe. Yeah, the doe foot applicator is a little small on the concealer. Put a little here, down the bridge of my nose, right here. Because I'm going to form my contour. Not really contour today, but I am going to bronze up. So once you really feel like you're into contouring, then you can contour. But again, always start off with your drugstore makeup before you do that. What in the world? Oh, right here. All right, so I'm going to take my sponge. I'm going to blend. And see how I begin to brighten a little bit? So I am beginning to brighten. As well as concealing. And I'm doing some pouncing into my skin. Really blend it out really good. So I want to give a little contrast to my forehead area. Now I'm just going to take the bridge of my nose. And I'm really going to combine that really well. Because I do have some discoloration in certain parts of my face. All right, and then under eye here, I take some of that concealer and put it over my eye. The eyeshadow palette I'm going to use today, I'm actually going to surprise you with it. But for me personally, I think it's a great beginner-friendly eyeshadow palette to start with these days, as opposed to years ago. I think he's a really good eyeshadow palette. All right, so now after I brightened, then where I have on my chin, I just kind of do like a pouncing and circular motion to kind of blend again, brighten. Then I'm gonna take this and just go up. The sponge I'm using today, this is my e.l.f. makeup sponge. You can get it on their website. I do believe I saw this sponge at Walmart. It's got the little point on there, and that's what I like. You can really take that point, get into the corners like that. And as you can see, I am forming my contour. And the concealer is blending in really well, particularly getting into the areas with the foundation where I really didn't get in all that well. I can't really say all that well because, again, I'm not that type of person that likes heavy foundation. I don't like full coverage foundation. Even though my foundation from Van Cosmetics, it is medium to full coverage. Because I do know a lot of people, they love the super full coverage, but I know how, again, you perfect it. That's how I know how to perfect the Juvia's Place. You know how, you have to learn how to perfect it, but you have to practice. Always practice. And see right under here how I formed my contour right here, for my contour. If you want to call it reverse contouring, you can do that. All right, so we got the concealer and foundation blended in really well. The contour has now been formed. Next, I am going to set my face. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I do set my face twice. Now here's a goodie. Here's a tip that I'm going to give for you guys. When you're just starting out with makeup, particularly with high-end makeup, and you want to start off with, yeah, I'm going to use this brand, I'm going to use that brand, but I can't afford no $30-something, no $40-something, no $50-something. Well, here's a good tip. When you go to Sephora, get the minis. Because the minis, you'll probably pay half the price. So for the first setting powder, I am going in with the Laura Mercier loose setting powder in a translucent. As you can see, I've bought this on my channel several times, and you see this is a mini. This mini is about $23. You don't have to pay the full price of almost $40 for the big one. You want to start off small, start off, this for me, I think this is really good beginner friendly size if you're just starting out with high-end makeup and you want to try it out for the first time. Look at when you go and check out at Sephora, and they have a lot of those minis. Check out a lot of those minis. I know Too Faced have some, Laura Mercier have some, Milk Makeup have some, because I have the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I got the mini. And you'll also find some of the minis actually on their stand. You get a lot of minis. So you don't have to pay the full price because, again, you're just trying it out for the first time. You're really getting yourself out there for the first time, trying out high-end makeup. And the minis are really good beginner-friendly makeup tries. Instead of you paying for $40 for makeup that you're getting for the first time and you hate it. Get a mini so it's not hurting your pockets. Always try a mini. That's what I say. Because using a mini that they have at either Sephora or Ulta, see, that'll let you know if you really want to get the real big kit and caboodle. See, initially I wasn't a fan of the Laura Mercier, but now since I've used it, I really like it. So I run out of this, I will then get the bigger one. And I know that bigger one is like $36. It's almost $40. But it's a very good setting powder. So I will always say that is a good tip when you're starting out with high-end makeup for the first time. Get the minis. Because trust me, I have a few minis. And it works out just fine. Didn't break the bank. I'm saying it's saying $23. I want to say I paid like $20 for this mini, and I got that from Sephora. All right, so now I'm going to brush it off. I do bake, but I don't bake for no more than 60 seconds. See how great that powder is? Really begins to set everything in place, as well as really chisel out my contour even more so. I'm going to sweep under there too, really get that going, and then on my forehead. Really get that going. So I'm going to set my face a second time. And when I set a second time, this is good for us ladies of color. I always use a setting powder that is my skin tone. If you want to use something that is your skin tone, again, beginner friendly. If you want to still continue with the Laura Mercier, look and see if they have the Laura Mercier mini. That is the medium, the deep shade. I do hear that one is a really, really good one. I do plan on trying that out. But also another one that's a really good beginner friendly for us ladies of color, try Mented. This was not that expensive. This is in medium deep. Mented is a black owned company, and I really do like this setting powder, and this is the regular size, and you're not going to break the bank with this. So this is a really good beginner friendly. But again, try the minis. The minis are really, really good. You won't go wrong with a mini. And you won't say, I spent all this money and I don't like it. Because trust me, I have gotten some high-end makeup and I don't know why I got it. I spent all that money on that makeup and I don't like it. Yes, Kendrick. Yes. My son is creeping.
I'm not creepy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I don't remember how much I paid for this. I want to say maybe $25, $25. I don't remember, $28. But this setting powder has lasted me a long time. They ain't $40. That Pat McGrath, that's $55. It ain't that. That's definitely not beginner friendly when you go to Pat McGrath. Anyway, goodbye. Okay, anyway, goodbye. Anyway, yeah. All right, so for bronzing, a name favorite in this house, but this is one brand I really say this is another brand I've mentioned before, very beginner friendly. If you really want to try out some beginner friendly makeup and you want to do like more than MAC, Fenty. This is the Fenty Beauty Bronzer in Coco Naughty. I want to say this bronzer was it $25 or $30 or something? I don't remember. I've had it for so long and I use it a lot. But this is also very beginner friendly when you want to just get your feet wet. When you really want to get your feet wet. With high end, those are the top two I would definitely recommend, which is MAC and Fenty. I have a deep hole in Coco Naughty. I use this Coco Naughty. I use it. Miranda wanted me to get Mocha Mommy. It's a little too red. Oh. And I just use the bronzer for all over. I don't necessarily like using bronzer for chiseling out a contour. I really like to use bronzer to bring some color back. And I just use it as all over. But see, look, I'm still not getting rid of my contour. My contour is still there. So that's another one that you can use that's really beginner friendly. Try Fenty. They have several shades. She has, oh my goodness, she got some things in the $20 range. She got stuff that's in the $30 range. But they're a really, really good brand to really step out on. Besides, for me, besides MAC, Fenty is also another good one. All right, so for blush. Blush is the lone one that is not high end. It is more, it is considered more drugstore, or what I would call drugstore but bougie. So the high-end blush I do have, I don't really recommend it to be beginner friendly, which is the cream blushes I have from Fenty. That to me is not really beginner friendly. You really need to be kind of experienced to use a cream blush. But the lone item that I'm going to use that is drugstore, but also if you really like, okay, I'm ready, I'm really, really ready for high end, but I'm not all the way there yet. Juvia's Place. This is the Juvia's Place Berries palette. I do use this palette, even though it is a mini eyeshadow palette. I use this for blush and highlighter. So the blush shade I always tend to go to is this deep burgundy shade here. I want to say this was like $14.99, but like I say, if you want to, like, you're not quite there, you want to get there with the high end, but you're not really there yet, Juvia's Place is a good brand to try. Again, Juvia's Place, black owned. And then there's my daughter standing there posing.
You ain't sexy, so stop. I'm the sexy one. Oh yeah, what you talking about?
Hey.
I'm the finest little boy out here who get all the girls and fool all the girls.
Y'all must have forgot I have YouTube going.
Hey, tell YouTube page, hey, I'm looking for a girlfriend.
Okay. I don't know what that was about, but okay. All right, so we're gonna put that little bit of blush on. Like I say, if you're not, it's like, okay, you ready to get to the big dogs, but you not quite there yet, try Juvia's Place. That's why I consider that brand drugstore but bougie. And look at the color payoff. The color, I'm gonna have to even it out on here because it's a lot. Because I use that for blush a whole lot. I use that for blush. Oh, look at that. Like I say, if you're not quite there yet, try Juvia's Place. Next is highlighter. So for highlighting, we're actually gonna go back to Fenty. I wanna say this was $25. This is their Kilowatt highlighter. Get the duo. I wouldn't say get a single one. I would say try the duo. The duo I have is Binge Mascara Mule. This shade actually fits me really, really well. That's what it looks like. And as you can see, I use it. It's the duo. For me, it's really, really good. And like I said, these were like $25. And you got two different shades to kind of choose from when you use the Kilowatt highlighters from Fenty. So what I do is I just take my brush and I just dip in both of them. Take off excess, and I just get a little highlighting here, and I look at the color. Look at that color. Look at that color. Get just the right amount of shimmer. Because I have to be careful because I can get ham with the Kilowatt highlighters. So try the Duo Kilowatt highlighters. And again, they're like $25. Okay. All right, and I put a little bit on my nose. So when you do that, if you do too much, just take your finger, try to mute it out, and try to distribute it through the bridge of your nose so that sunlight can hit it just right. So next, we're gonna go with eyeshadow. With eyeshadow and dealing with high-end brands, a lot of them, it all depends on who you go with, as my son is standing over there peeking. I told you, the comedy continues with my people here. So with eyeshadow, you want to find an eyeshadow that is not only, you're just now stepping into the big dogs of high-end makeup, but it's also pigmented, something that you're going to enjoy, and again, not really hurting your pockets a whole lot. Not to mention you're ready to take that leap, not 100%, but you know what? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Because let me tell you, there are palettes. They're in the $40 and $50 range. I have an eyeshadow palette right now that's $125. That's when you really in the big dogs. But I find this brand, for me, y'all can disagree, but I find this eyeshadow palette, this is a very good beginner-friendly eyeshadow palette. Y'all gonna be surprised at who I'm about to say that I picked, because this eyeshadow palette is $20. I do believe this eyeshadow palette is discontinued, I think, because I don't think it's on his website anymore. But I think you can still get the eyeshadow palette at Sephora. Believe you still can, and it was $20. He has now since come out with 2 more eyeshadow palettes. He just did a release of eyeshadow a week ago. So who am I talking about? I am talking about Artist Couture, the Midnight Maven palette. This palette was just $20, and I got this from Sephora. Try out, I will suggest, this is another one you really want to kind of get started with some high-end makeup, but again, not really breaking the bank a whole lot. Artist Couture. He just came out with his Caliente eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure, I'm kind of on the fence with that because that's a bunch of reds. And he's got his Supreme Nudes eyeshadow palette. His palette, and this is the first eyeshadow palette he came out with, which is the Midnight Maven. So check Sephora, see if they still have it. I know on the Artist Couture website they don't have this anymore. So I'm gonna do Artist Couture today. I do use Artist Couture when I want to wear like my purple shimmer out of my eyeshadow palette from Fam Cosmetics, because my Violet's eyeshadow palette, it is all shimmers. But I always use what is this, Nightcap, this purple shade. I always use Nightcap as my base color, but not today. Today we're gonna go in with the shade Rebel. We're gonna go in with the brown shade right here. So try Artist Couture. Again, you're not gonna really break the bank with Artist Couture. You really not. To me, that's also kind of safe. And his eyeshadow palette does have a lot of pigment. So you're not going to be disappointed with Artist Couture. So I would definitely try out Artist Couture. I have his lip gloss. They're sheer, however, they give pigment. So that's another brand I definitely would say, definitely beginner friendly. It is definitely beginner friendly. I think with this palette, I'm gonna do a halo eye today, because I'm just gonna do a bunch of mattes. So what all I'm gonna do is just go ahead and bring this color down just like that. So I'm bringing it down like that. Then I'm just gonna close this up too as well. Bring that color down, really bring that color out. So I'm leaving the space in the middle. So I'm really gonna build this shadow up. I know in my last video I'm trying to show you how to do a halo eye and I'm covering up everything. So I'm just doing that, and I'm just leaving that space in the middle. I'm actually in the middle, I'm putting a brighter matte shade. There we go. I'm gonna put Rebel on this eye as well. There we go. Why does it always look like it's ashy right on my brow bone? So I'm really building up the crease, and then I'm bringing it down to form the halo. There you go. All right, so in the middle, we're going to put the shade, what is this shade? Frisky. Okay, yeah, this child of mine, I don't know. So we're gonna put the shade Frisky in the middle, which is another matte shade. So if you wanna consider this like a soft glam, you can, because I'm just using a bunch of mattes. So I'm really building up Frisky. And all I'm gonna do is just sit, I'm just gonna pack it on, pack and paint. If that's what you want to call it, pack and paint. But that's what I'm doing, packing and painting. And that's just in the middle part. And that's what I'm doing, packing it on. Packing it on, packing it on, packing it on. There we go. How about that? So I'm going to take Frisky on the other eye. And I'm going to do the same thing. These are the two shades I use the most out of this Midnight Maven palette. I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to pat it. Really build that color up. There we go. Really build that up. Really, really nicely. There we go. So now I'm going to go back with the other color. I think I did too much on that one. I'm going to go back and I'm going to blend it out. There we go. Kind of diffuse it. There we go. So now I'm going to do the same thing, diffuse it. There we go. There we go. How about that? All right, next, not eyeshadow. I just did eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to set my face. So here's another tip for you guys. I've said this before. Before you do your mascara, set your face first. It doesn't matter if it's drugstore makeup or high-end makeup. Set your face before you do your mascara. I made the grave mistake on Thanksgiving Day. I put mascara on, then I set my face. I had to start one half of my face all over again. The mascara had ran down and I couldn't fix it. It kept smearing. The mascara kept smearing because of the setting spray. So I've learned that lesson. Set your face before you do mascara. So again, this is actually, I bought it on my channel a few times. It's a mini. Again, take advantage of the minis. So you won't, if you don't want to pay the full price, take advantage of the minis. They have minis at both Ulta and Sephora. I got this from Sephora. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. As you can see, it's the thin one. I paid $15 for it. I did not pay the full $30 for it. It's $15. It's a mini. And this child here, I don't know. Oh, stop. Anyway, we're almost done, thank goodness. Glad I'm getting better. Next, mascara. I'm really gonna go old school with the mascara. And I got this mascara out of my Sephora Play before they discontinued it. So for mascara, definite oldie but goodie. Again, take advantage of your BoxyCharms, your Ipsies. You'll get a lot of great high-end products, and you're paying like $25 a month. Take advantage. So for mascara, I'm going in with Clinique. This is the Clinique Mascara. So I'm going in with Clinique. Now that's really old school, going with Clinique.
I wasn't in the phone.
You weren't.
Uh-oh, Lord.
I'm going in with Clinique, and this is also a mini.
$2,000, baby.
And look at the volume that brings. So if you're like me, not into false lashes, get a really good volumizing mascara. This is a pretty good mascara. Another good one if you really want to start off high-end. Fenty came out with some mascaras, and that mascara is really, really good. So another good setting spray to use if you're just starting out, we're gonna go back to MAC. Use the Fix Plus. If you really want to know what a high-end setting spray, primer water, so forth, use the Fix Plus. You cannot go wrong with MAC Fix Plus. I use my Fix Plus when I'm either setting my makeup or if I need like my foundation to move. If I'm using a stick foundation, I'll use a little mix with the stick foundation and a little MAC Fix Plus. Last but not least, lip. I'm going to tell you right now, the best beginner friendly lipstick or lip gloss, and I'm going to say lip gloss by far. And you're not gonna break the bank with the lip gloss, if it's particularly going high end. Hello, Fenty. The gloss bombs are awesome. They're only $18. This is the full size of the gloss bombs. This is the shade Hot Chocolate. This is one of her newer shades. I literally go back and forth. Like I have rotation going on between the original gloss bomb and the shade Fussy. I have a rotation. Then when she introduced the new ones, yeah, I added another one. So I have regular rotations with those gloss bombs. And again, $18. Definite beginner friendly. Oh my God. Okay. It's in the car. And this gloss bomb smells so good. You can wear this. I like to wear them by themselves, or you can use it as toppers for your matte lipstick. Great toppers. So that is it with this, what I call Makeup 102, beginner friendly, high-end makeup. So this is it. The final look. Hopefully I've given you some helpful hints and some product recommendations if you're just starting out with makeup and you want to try your hand at high-end makeup for the first time. Yeah, the gang is coming now. So this is the final look, and as they're talking through this video, I just like how they just talk through the video. Anyway, yeah. So again, this is the final look, and hopefully 40 plus club approved. So with that being said, this is Vanisha Alexander Marshall. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.